Well, welcome world to Uphill 30. This is a passion project for both Matt and I, and we've been talking about this for a while now.
Too
The
long.
basis is basically like, listen, people turn 30 and think life goes downhill after that, but we're trying to change the narrative of that. Basically, turning 30 means good things too. We're gonna go uphill, kind of the name of
Uphill.
the podcast here. So this is 30 uphill, or is it uphill 30? Yeah, a little nervous, but we're just gonna talk about how life isn't that bad. It's not. Let's
Hey.
let's make the best out of it. Let's talk about ourselves for a little bit. We're
Oh boy.
both 30 now, right?
Yep. 30.
Um,
Yep. Something like that.
also, I am Mo, and this is Matt. So Matt, why don't you give us a little intro about yourself first?
I do HVAC. It's all right. Pays the bills. Good. I like it. Um, have a family. Have a daughter and a son. My daughter's 2.5. My son is like almost 4 months now. And then free time. Yeah, I spend time with the kids and ride motorcycles, shoot guns. That's pretty much what I do. Bit
Yeah,
long.
we've known each other since high school, basically, and we both grew up in New York. We did some wild shit growing up. I mean, we'll
A
get
lot
we'll
of
get into
stories.
it. Where we are now is we've
Hmm.
grown up, we've matured, and Matt over here, he's already two kids down, has a family, a career, he's all set, and I'd say a little bit early in the stages. I have just moved to Pennsylvania, and I just bought a house, and now I am going to be a father in a few months. How are you handling fatherhood?
Oh, I'm loving it, dude. It's awesome. It kind of comes natural after a while, honestly. Um, People who need advice for it, who don't have kids and stuff, I just say like it kind of comes natural, and if it don't right away, it definitely will come to you. You just got to stick in there and be positive and be happy and just enjoy every moment you can. Because if you don't, then you miss out on it. So that's kind of what it is. There's going to be moments where you do miss out on, work, and if you do have any hobbies and you go do those and stuff like that. I mean, try to keep that at a minimum and try to enjoy as much as you can with your family because they ain't getting any younger. They just grow and that's it. So.
You were the first one in our group of friends to kind of number one, I think you were the first one to get married. Just thinking back, you were the
Yeah.
first one to buy the house, to make the
No one
move
thought that
to
though. No one thought that.
yeah, because in growing up, you
Thought
were
I was
just the
gonna be
wild
dead.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
you just be the one, the drunkest at the party, basically. So,
That's nothing to be proud of, but whatever.
but here you are now, 30 and living and making the best out of life. And I think that's pretty much what we want to talk about. Just making the best out of life because there's a lot of shit going
Good
on in
life.
this world nowadays.
Yeah, good life choices. Life choices. People struggle with anything. We are not psychologists by any means, but we do have. I guess you could say good, just good advice and stuff. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. Me and Mo, the reason why we came up with this show too is because we do have a lot of funny conversations. We also have a lot of deep conversations, and we roll with it. And it's like, why don't we tell people about this and talk about it a little more? But oh, here we are.
And I think one of the things we want to talk about is, especially when you hit your even not even your 30s. I think when you hit your high 20s, or is it oh, I'm sorry, late 20s, right? When you're past
Yeah.
26, 27, there's a part of you that sees like people around you. There's three types of people. There's people that are doing the same shit that we did in high school. There's other people
Mm-hmm.
that are going into the life that we're kind of living now, starting the family and doing career moves and stuff like that. And then there's the third type of people who just don't know what to do and are just kind of stuck and just thinking like, all right, maybe there's nothing else for me left in this world. And we definitely wanted to find those people somehow. Maybe this goes to you and we can tell you, hey, listen, you don't
I
have to have
mean,
anything figured out.
the reality of it is we have all been there, kind of. You know what I mean? Not you're not going to figure out what you want to do right away in life. I mean, dude, failure is all part of, you know, getting to this point. You know what I mean? You're going to fail in life and stuff. You're going to get into tough positions, and whether it's financial or not, I mean, or just a life thing, a mindset or whatever the case is. I mean, there's always a way out. There's always a way to get somewhere, where you want to be. There's people who are going to try and people who ain't. Some that are going to change their ways to do better, and some that aren't. I mean, it's just simple as that.
When people in their 27s, 28s, they see other people, and the word is I'm going to use as success, you know, that's the part of them that they feel like, oh shit, maybe I'm not going to be successful or I'm not successful. Like, let's talk about success here for a second. Like, for you, what does success mean?
Success, I don't. Um, there's a different meaning of success for everyone. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people. I think the first thing people turn to is money. I mean, why not? I mean, if you're successful, you have a lot of money, right? I don't think that is 100% true. Money comes along with it for sure, but at the end of the day, I think success, the true meaning is if you are a happy person in your heart, and that will reflect to the world, your family. I mean, that rubs off on everyone. I think success, is having a good relationship with your spouse, or your soon-to-be spouse or your girlfriend, whatever. Success is also having a good work ethic. To use you now, what's success for you?
Okay. I mean, I'm going
What
to give
did
you a
you think?
long answer and a short answer. So, short
Okay.
answer, if someone asks me, like exactly what you just said, what does success mean to you? It's, to me, healthy. Period. What do you mean by that? But let me tell you why. This is the long answer. So to me, to be healthy, it's like it's a triangle. So there's three parts to it, all equal parts. And I'll tell you why each one is important and why if one is not good, it affects the others. We can get into that too if you want. But there's three. Number one, your physical health. Like if you're not physically healthy, you got to work you got to do something to work on that because you have full control of your physical health. I
Absolutely.
mean, the parts where you can't control, like diseases and that stuff, I understand, but you have control over what you put into your body. You have control about how much you eat. You have control about the different dirty stuff you could put in your body or good things. You can choose to work out. You could choose not to work out. You can choose to be lazy and not do anything. That's all going to affect your physical health. All right. So that's the first part of my pyramid. Second part is financial health. If you're it's just like keeping your physical body healthy, you got to keep your financial self healthy. So if you're spending too much money, that's on you. You can't blame anyone else but you. If you're spending money on things you can't afford, it's going to ruin you, and that's completely on you. And number three, your mental health. My theory is that if your physical health and your financial health isn't good, it's going to affect your mental health. And when you have
Mhm.
not a good mental health, it's going to affect the other two. And it's all basically one giant circle, triangle, whatever you want to call a chain of events. I don't care, whatever it is, but basically it all affects each other. So as long as you're actively working on your health, meaning you're doing everything you can to have a budget, stay within your range of money you're making and how much you're spending, how much you're saving, you're eating the right things, or you're doing. I'm not saying you got to work out every day. Listen, like maybe go on a walk every now and then, do something physical. Don't just stay at home and do nothing.
It's hard to maintain everything, not everyone's going to be succeeding at that. Like we all lack in areas, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you don't have to get too deep with it, but you want to definitely set your goals. Set your goal. I mean, that's what's helped me get through it all. I mean, setting your goals, spiritual goals, money goals, whatever it is. I mean, at the end of the day, family goals. I mean, you're gonna have, you should make goals for everything.
I think, that's another thing about success. People get blindsided by um being successful where they don't do fun. And I feel like if you're not doing something fun, you're not living too. Like you can't just
Uh,
do what you're supposed to do and not something for yourself. So whatever you find fun, like for us, it's this, like just getting together, just talking, maybe having a beer. It doesn't matter as long as we can have this conversation and maybe spread some positivity. That's fun. Like we
100%.
we we want to do this.
You gotta stay as positive as you can. And I'm not saying like through hard times and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that, but between the goal setting, between just staying, just I guess just staying positive is a huge thing. I mean, you can have fun doing anything, really.
Dude, I'm gonna throw something at you. What if you have no one to talk to? Like you got no family, you got no friends, no kids, like no, literally no
Oh,
family,
no
no
one?
friends, no one that you legitimately, no coworkers that they all hate you. Let's call this
Whoa,
person Steve,
jeez,
right?
man.
Steve
Who the
has no friends, no family, no coworkers that talk to him. And he's coming home, he's not having fun. Like, what is Steve to do? I
You
think
gotta
the
change
reason why
something.
Steve I think the reason why Steve has no one to talk to is because Steve doesn't know himself. That's my deep thought about that. Like if he liked movies, he can go to the movies. He could meet like people at the movies. Or
Yes.
like
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, if has no one, he should definitely, you know, he should start talking to someone. That's it. That's all it
where
takes.
does Steve find someone to talk to? That's the
Dude,
question.
not everyone hates Steve, man. That's impossible.
You know Steve? Like what? How do you know?
No. Do you? You sound like you know him better than me.
But the thing is, I want Steve to be successful, right? And
Oh, I understand.
but we'll dive back into Steve. We'll
We'll
get some
dive back to
shirts.
Steve.
Justice for Steve.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
remember. I mean, you kind of touched base a little bit, like about us, like meeting each other and everything. But as
yeah,
far
yeah.
as
No, so
you yourself, you're 30, right?
yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah, no, I turned 30 literally this month. No, last month, just a couple weeks ago. And I was I was dreading the day that would come because in my head, once you turn 30, the fun dies out. Um, you're just working, you're just coming home, you're putting on the TV, you're yelling at your wife. I don't know, like it's just
Whoa.
I just
Dude,
thought
I do that too. No.
I just thought it just goes downhill once you turn 30. And
Cancel.
we really didn't want to we wanted to make sure that that's not the case. And we wanted to control our futures and basically know that things are going to be okay. Things are going to be good. Things are going to be better in your
Oh,
30s than your freaking 20s. That's my goal, to make the next 10 years of my life the best 10 years of my life. Yeah, so that's me. And that's us. That's what we're doing now. That's what this is. What's
um,
your outlook on mindset?
so your thoughts reflect on your actions. You're like, so if you're having, it's kind of the simple terms. If you're just a negative person, negative reactions is what's going to happen. So if you're negative all the time, boo hoo me, or whatever the case is, or just like, I can't stand everyone around me, you have road rage, you're going nuts, you're going to cause a car accident, and sometimes you don't. But I mean, or you can upset someone else. I mean, it's going to reflect all around. People are going to see it. You know what I mean? You walk into work negative, you show your negativity. It's bad for the surrounding people. People aren't going to be happy. That might be Steve. I don't know, but I'm just saying. those things, as small as they may seem, it has a huge impact on your life. Huge impact. I mean, I used to be a negative person, for instance. I was truly a negative person. Always looked at things from a negative point of view. And because people done me wrong. I mean, when you start growing up, I was, I don't know. I was negative all through my teenage years, pretty much. I mean, that's just how it is. Some people say it's normal. I don't know. I don't think it is, but I was, overall, I had good times, but I also had negative moments where because I'm just overall a negative person, always looking at the bad. Right? You can't do that. I mean, you look at the bad all the time. It doesn't go right. Bad things are going to happen. I had like 3 car accidents within like 2 years. It was nuts. I mean, it was just freaking bananas. Was I a bad driver? Yeah, probably. But I mean, at the end of the day, if I was more positive, maybe I wouldn't have had, 3. I might have had 1. I don't know. But everyone's going to struggle with some negativity. I mean, you're not going to be happy, Mr. Chipper all the time. That's not, the real world. But you keep your mind set on the positive most of the time. Something goes wrong. You take a deep breath. It's going to be okay, or you can let it get to you. I mean, you have 2 choices there, 2 pathways. Choose the right one. I would say the best way I can explain this is, I changed my life around, and I have a really good job, and it took me a lot of places.
Having a good mindset means a lot. And I was just thinking of like back in the day, like I think you said high school too. And I was blessed enough to hang out with a lot of different groups of people. Just
Mm-hmm.
I think we just never hung out with one group. We just always were all over the place. One day we were in
Oh
this
yeah,
town,
that's
one day we
awesome.
were in the other town. We were blessed to just know different people in different realms of the county. And I was thinking back, like, wait, there's there's an environment factor into having a good mindset. When you're with people with bad mindsets or
Yeah,
negativity, eventually that's gonna like vibe off to you. Whether
that
you
yeah, that
know it or you want it,
eats
whether
you up.
you are the most happiest go lucky person in the world, the
Yeah,
moment you surround yourself with people
yeah,
that are not uplifting you, that are always bringing you down, they're always saying like, oh, the world sucks, and this sucks, I'll never be this, we'll never do this. Eventually you're gonna think the same things, whether you want it or not. That's how it's gonna happen. And I think the biggest problem is people need to find out, like, identify that, like, oh shit, like this person's being really negative. I don't feel that way. Maybe I should cut them off. Maybe I should try hanging out with a different group of people, see if that gets better. Because
oh, 100
when you're
percent.
with people that bring you down, you're gonna go down. That's just how it is.
It's you just don't end up in the right places, put it that way, and you can get yourself into trouble, and overall it can cost you a lot. It can. I mean, it all depends on your situation, obviously, but is it worth it at the end of the day?
What else do we need to know about our 30s? Like, what I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want to stop believing in myself. I never want to say, and if I ever call you like, hey, this podcast thing, like, I'm not really feeling it. It's not, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we're just gonna do it's not something I want to do anymore. I don't believe in myself. I need the support from you to be like, dude, stop. Like, we're still gonna do it. You need to like pick yourself up, and we're just gonna keep trying. So that perseverance is what I want, and make sure that I don't go down the path of giving up on
Oh
myself,
yeah, absolutely.
and to be a good role model to my future children. We even though we lived in New York, we moved to different parts of the country. So you moved to big. Oh, you know what? I'll start with me because you're
Yeah, so,
you're wild. I moved to Pennsylvania, which is right below New York. It's a 2 hour drive, 2.5 sometimes hour drive home. What gave you the motivation to be like, I will move from where I grew up, and I don't know a soul here. I'm just
mm,
gonna do it. How do you get up and just go?
That's a very good question, bud. Um, um, it was New Jersey. Well, I lived in New Jersey, northern part of New Jersey, which is pretty much New York. I grew up in Rockland County, New York, and then I moved out to Sussex County, New Jersey. Beautiful town, um, all farmland, trees, mountains. It's nice.
Shout out
Um,
to that Italian restaurant. I forgot what it's called, but
well,
best.
that's south of where I was, but yeah, no, I forgot the name of it, but yeah, we'll go back to that eventually.
Okay, yeah.
Good food, but at the end of the day, I got sick of New Jersey. Um, I noticed that my family, I would probably, I know it's mind over matter, but because of the way I am, I like to work. Um, it was consuming me, and I was never home. I just worked and worked, and it is what it is. But you have to have a balance in life. So what made me like want to move, period, was that. Okay, we were throwing some things around. There's many states to choose from, but we overall, just in a nutshell, make a long story short, it felt like we were called to Kentucky. So, I mean, there was just something about it, a little charm about
Instead
it.
of instead of you
Made,
choosing Kentucky, Kentucky chose you.
yeah, yeah. And I have to say, like, we prayed about it too. You know what I mean? We did pray about it, and it worked out like perfect. Like we obviously there was a little bit of struggle and stuff. Like we had the pod place messed up, and there's drama along the way. My truck broke down, but we still, I mean, everything worked out in perfect timing, and we got here, and we were blessed to make it, and we love it. We got locked up in a church, so it's a nice place, and people are awesome here, though. It really is a nice place.
Like, I think it all goes back to having goals. We got to make sure that whether you're accomplishing your checklist, there's always more to do in life, and we never
Yeah.
want to give up on the rest of the life, right? You never want to settle. Like, hey, I got the house, I got the wife, I got the kids. I done everything I need to. I'm good. Like God can take me today. Everything is done. Like I don't think that's it with life. I think there should always be more that we could
Oh
strive
yeah,
for, and
always.
hopefully that's what helps us and other people entering their 30s that find more things to strive for, do more, want more, because the more you want, the more you'll work harder. How did you get the mindset to be like, all right, this is what I want to do in life?
That's a good question. I mean, it took me a long. It felt like a long time to get define what I like to do. And even then, when I found what I thought I would like to do, I actually didn't like it at first. I didn't like it at all. Actually, I was very discouraged and thought about quitting a million times. I really did. It's the truth about it. Like it was it was a mental struggle, but I ended up getting through it because I worked hard. I just was like, let me do. I got to do it. I got to push through. You could do anything you put your mind to at the end of the day. Oh, you probably remember sometimes I got to have a new job all the time, and I would do good at everything I did pretty much. I always tried my best, and there was just something discouraged me, something threw me off, and I was just like, I don't need this, I don't need you, I don't need anyone, that type of thing, and not really the best attitude to have. But I mean, then again, at the end of the day, I mean, it it kind of led me to where I am now, and I never meant to be mean to anyone ever. That wasn't my intentions. I didn't mean
Yeah,
to. It was my mindset. Really, at the end of the day, having a negative outlook on things pretty much kind of did that. But then, finding a job that I did like, um, or a career, I should say, career that I did like, and someone who actually put their faith and belief in me. I'll start off in plumbing. A guy named Ken, he believed in
shout
me.
out to Ken.
Shout out to Ken. He'll probably never see this, but if he does, hell yeah, he's an old man. just living the dream right now. But he put his, he believed in me. At least I felt that, and um, there was times where I, it was trying, put it that way. I put him through some stuff, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. We made mistakes, or I made mistakes that made things a little tough. But he always gave me good advice, and that's where it all started. That's where it all started, and then I ended up moving on from that job, doing HVAC at a company, and didn't go the best as what I thought it would. Just stress levels were high, and I didn't know much. So I eventually found a company that actually did take care of me, and they put their time into me. I figured things out. I learned. It took me a long time. I made mistakes along the way, big mistakes, very big mistakes, but that's all how you learn. That's all how you learn. That's what it teaches you. That's what it teaches you. I mean, at the end of the day, being in this type of business, you're gonna make mistakes, and that's how you become a good, you know, a good technician or whatever you're trying to be, a good installer or whatever the case is.
It's very important to find something that, number one, like you said, where they treat you well and also where you think you belong. So if you're not feeling like someone's not treating you well or you're not where you belong, hey, maybe you gotta make some moves on yourself. Okay, so the segment is gonna be called We're gonna answer, Are you the asshole? Because I'm getting this right off Reddit and I'm gonna read a topic here. I'll pick one from this year, so it's going to be really bumped up there, and we're gonna answer it. So how about this one? Am I the asshole for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home? Now, let me explain. It says, My son burps a lot while eating. I have tried telling him multiple times that it is rude. I've told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I've told him that it's disgusting. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. She will say that's just the way he is. That's not his fault. The thing is, he can control himself when I remind him. He just chooses not to. He just went on a date with his girlfriend last night, and she told him she tore him a new asshole. It was his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out to a fancy restaurant and he burped all the way through supper. He came home almost in tears from her chewing him for behaving like a jackass in front of her family. I heard him telling my wife about it and I laughed. She asked what was so funny, and I reminded them both that I had tried dozens, if not hundreds, to teach him table manners, and he rejected them. So that's why I laughed. Is this person an asshole, or are they completely valid?
Yeah,
So the
that's okay.
dad is
So
asking, "Am I the asshole for laughing?"
no. I agree with them 100%. 100% hands down. I mean, you should have manners. I mean, how are you supposed to impress a woman and you know mate and you ain't gonna get it like that, acting
Yeah,
like an asshole.
if my future son comes home and he tells me that his girlfriend yelled at him because he was burping at the table in front of her family, I'm gonna agree. I'll be like, yeah, dude, you're being an asshole. Like,
Yeah,
why are you
absolutely,
burping at
100%.
a restaurant?
That's it.
I've seen some crazy things that happen at restaurants before, and I'm just like, how do people have the audacity? Like my worst, like I hate it when people are FaceTiming other people or on the phone loudly while you're at a restaurant. Like
Yeah, that's rude too. Absolutely, 100%.
it just
Can't
pisses
stand.
me off. So I gotta learn how to do a
Oh, you're
dad joke.
already at that level, man. That's why we talk. Just corny stuff. It doesn't make sense. So I mean, it is, or it does makes too much sense, I guess,
Yeah.
sometimes. But, well, dude, this was fun. I like it.
This makes this
It's
is a
nice.
good experience for me, and it helps me get my thoughts out because I think one of the things I really struggle with is being able to speak and like just get my thoughts out because I just normally just keep it all in. So if I could just,
Are you
if we
Steve?
just keep at this, oh, dude, I might be. Steve is me. Like I don't know why you
Dude,
haven't
shut
put
up.
it together. Steve
Shut
is me. I
up.
am
No, you're
Steve.
not. You're an idiot. All right. Well, that was fun, dude.
Thank you for watching. We really look forward to doing this, hopefully,
Mhm.
maybe in a weekly basis. And we want to talk about anything, anything. If people have ideas, like, I don't know, put in the comments or something.
Topics,
Um,
topics. We'll talk.
yeah,
We'll talk.
yeah. If you want to be
Cool.
on, let us know. We'll put you on. The goal is when you turn 30, it's uphill from here. Things will get better. Steve, if you're out there, if you're listening, if any of the negative things we talked about applies to you, I promise, Steve, things will get better. It's only uphill from here. All right. And we're going to help people. We're going to do whatever we can to keep the positivity going. And we will all be living free until we're like 90 years old. And our great grandchildren will hopefully pick up where we're leaving off.
Grinding gears and drinking beers. America.
That's it. All right, that is Uphill 30. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And hope if you didn't like this episode, listen, the next episode is gonna be way better. We might have some
Leave.
crazy guest stars. You
If
don't
you
even
don't
need
like us, leave bad comments. I want it.